Hi, welcome back. I'm Luke, and today we are going to be talking about idioms. What is an idiom? An idiom is a kind of expression that comes from culture. That means if you look at the words of the idiom, maybe you cannot understand it. Here's an example. If somebody says, kick the bucket, you just look at these three words. You can't understand the meaning. Kick the bucket. Kick is a kind of action. You hit something with your foot, and a bucket is something that holds water. But the meaning of this is die. Somebody died. Somebody kicked the bucket. It's an informal way to say that. So the meaning and the words you see don't match. Okay, so these are cultural things, and I'm going to talk about some of them today. Okay? The first one I want to talk about is you've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding. This is an idiom that you use when you are surprised or disappointed with something. It's sort of a comment that you say when you hear some news you do not like. So let me give you an example. You plan to go outside to do something interesting today. Outside, outdoors. You get ready, you put everything on, and you go to the door. You look out the window, and you see it's raining. And it's raining a lot, so it's impossible to go outside. So you say to yourself, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm disappointed. Okay, I say this because I'm disappointed. Here's another example. Maybe I'm surprised about something. I talk to my mom on the phone, and my mom says, hey, Luke, guess what? Your grandma moved to India. That is very strange. There's no reason for my grandma to do that. So I say, huh? Are you kidding me? Or you've got to be kidding me. That means you must be joking. I can't believe that. It's so surprising. Okay? So I say this as a comment about my surprise, my feeling of surprise. I go to the hospital and I want to get a test, and I hope I will get the result or the report of the test today. But after the test, the doctor says, okay, you need to wait 3 weeks for the results. Are you kidding me? That means I can't get the results today? I don't want to wait 3 weeks. Are you kidding me? All right, so this is very, very common, a very common expression. Practice this one. Think of other situations where you would use it. The next idiom is a piece of cake. A piece of cake just means a slice of a cake, right? Well, yes, but there's another meaning. It means easy. Maybe you know this one because this one is very, very common. Very, very easy is the meaning. Here's an example. I'm at work and my boss tells me, oh, can you finish this thing before 6 o'clock? And I say, oh yeah, piece of cake. That means very easy for me, no problem. Piece of cake. That's a piece of cake. We're going hiking or climbing a mountain, and we look up at the mountain, and my friend says, wow, that's pretty tall. This is going to be very difficult. And I say, nah, piece of cake. It's a piece of cake, or it will be a piece of cake. Now, sometimes I really mean this will be easy because I have more experience climbing mountains, or I'm being sarcastic. That means, yes, I think it's difficult too, but I say piece of cake sort of as a joke. Sometimes you say something opposite to mean the opposite. So, piece of cake means, it's very difficult, okay? Sometimes we say, oh, great, but actually we mean, that's terrible. Oh, great, that's terrible. Okay, so sometimes we say the opposite. That's called sarcasm. All right, learning English is a piece of cake. Maybe you mean that actually. Learning English is easy, or maybe not. Sooner or later is the next one. You can probably guess the meaning here. Sooner or later. The meaning of sooner or later is the same as inevitable. Inevitable. That means something will happen. You cannot stop it. Sooner or later means inevitable, but I don't know when it will happen. I don't know the point that it will happen. So here's an example. Sooner or later, you will realize that I was right, or I am right. So I disagree with someone. We fight or argue about something, and then I say, sooner or later you will see I am right. That means I don't know when, but you will later understand that you were wrong. Okay? Sooner or later you will see I am right. Here's another one. I hope I never need to go to the hospital again. Nobody likes to go to the hospital. But sooner or later, I know I will need to. It's almost impossible that you would spend the rest of your life and never go to the hospital again. Most people will go to the hospital once a year just to get a check. So I can say, sooner or later, I will go to the hospital again, even though I don't want to. I don't know when, but I will. Okay? That's a very, very common one. Very, very common. This is similar to another expression that has to do with doing something as soon as possible because you don't like it. So if somebody says, oh, we need to go to the hospital, I can say sooner rather than later. That means I want to do it now because I want it to be finished. It's not a fun thing, so let's just do it, and then I don't need to think about it anymore. And we can also say, let's get it over with. Let's just get it over with. Let's just do it. Then it can be over. Then I don't need to think about it anymore. So sooner rather than later, and let's get it over with. Okay? Basically the same thing. All right. The next one is grab a bite or grab something. Grab, you know, means to take something with your hand. A bite in this situation doesn't just mean one bite. It means eat. Eat. So if you want to ask somebody to eat with you, let's say I'm a boy and there's a girl over there, and I want to ask this girl kind of out on a small date, instead of saying, excuse me, I would like to invite you to go out with me to eat. It sounds very formal. She might feel uncomfortable about this. So to sound more relaxed, I could say, hey, do you want to grab a bite to eat later? Do you want to grab a bite to eat later? That sounds much more relaxed, and it sounds like it's not a date. Just go out and have a meal. And maybe that's true. Maybe two friends want to eat together, and one person says, hey, do you want to grab a bite? Do you want to grab a bite? Or wanna, W-A-N-N-A, wanna grab a bite? Wanna grab a bite? It's very relaxed, and friends often say this to each other. Okay. Sometimes we use grab for other sorts of things. It just means get or take. So here's an example. My friend, who is my roommate, we live in the same place, is out doing something, and I know that. And I want my friend to take something for me from the supermarket. So I call my friend. Hi, where are you? Oh, I'm still out. Can you grab some chocolate for me on your way back? That means as you come back, stop at the supermarket and buy some chocolate. Grab means buy. Sure, no problem. So could you grab something for me means could you get or could you buy something for me? Or I need to go to the train station to grab my friend or pick up my friend. It's the same. It doesn't mean grab them with my hands. It means I will drive there and they will get in my car and we will go. Grab has a lot of different meanings. All right. Here's the next one. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. That means I hear something that I really like. I like the sound of that. Okay? Here's an example. I hate winter. It means it's cold, so I don't like winter. Okay? And my friend says, yeah, me too. Hey, why don't we go on a small vacation to the beach in a warm place? And I say then, now you're talking. Now you're talking means that sounds good. Let's do that. That is the right idea. Let's do something warm. Let's go someplace that is fun and warm and by the beach. So now you're talking means that sounds very, very good. I like that. Again, I'm calling my friend who is my roommate. I need something sweet. Do you want me to grab some chocolate for you on my way home? now you're talking. That sounds good. Thanks. So now you're talking can mean I like your idea. Okay? The next one. I blew it, or you blew it. B-L-E-W. This means you made a big mistake. You didn't do something right, or you didn't do something well. And usually it's I, but sometimes you can blame others by saying you. Okay, so here's an example. My friend asks me, how did the job interview go? An interview is where you talk to your possible boss and they ask you questions. How did the job interview go? Not very well. I didn't answer the questions correctly, I think. I think I blew it. I blew it means I think I made so many mistakes that I will not get the job. I think I blew it. Sometimes people say this about a date that went poorly. Some boy goes on a date with some girl and maybe he did something very stupid that made her feel uncomfortable, and his friend asked him, how did it go? And he said, I blew it. I blew it. That means it did not go well. And if you want to blame others, they made a mistake, you can say, you blew it. You blew it. You made a mistake. So here's an example of that. I want to surprise my mother by visiting her. Usually I live far away, but I want to have a surprise visit. She is not expecting it. But I talk to my brother and I say, oh, I'm coming home for a surprise visit. Don't tell mom. Don't tell mom. And my brother says, oh, sorry, I already told her about your visit. So now I can't surprise her anymore. So I say to my brother, you blew it. You blew the surprise. You blew it. Okay? Very, very common. The next one is when you can do something because there's no harm in that thing. It can't cause some bad result. Maybe nothing good will happen, but maybe nothing bad will happen. The expression is, it can't hurt. It can't hurt. Here's an example. I want to apply for this job, but I don't think I will get the job. Probably I cannot get this job. But it can't hurt to try. It can't hurt to try. That means if you don't try, you won't get the job. But if you do try, you still maybe don't get the job, but maybe you do get the job. So there's no harm in attempting it, in trying to do it. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. Okay? Very, very common. Very, very common. All right, the next one. The next one. Out of the blue. Out of the blue means something happened suddenly that you did not expect. Suddenly happened that you did not expect. We were sitting there, and out of the blue, she said, I want to take piano lessons. So I didn't expect this person to say this, and suddenly they just said it. I want to take piano lessons. That means I want to learn how to play the piano. It's very strange and very sudden. Okay? Out of the blue, she said something. Suddenly, she said something. There's no reason for her to say that. If I say, do you want to learn the piano? Or are you interested in learning anything? And she says, yes, I want to learn the piano. Then you can't say out of the blue. You can only say it if there's no reason for that to happen. And you totally don't expect it to happen. Okay? Another example, I just got an email from my high school classmate, my old high school classmate, totally out of the blue. I haven't talked to this person in many years, and suddenly they send me an email. Why? I don't know. Okay, so it's out of the blue, out of the blue. Okay, so here's another one. Beats me. Beats me. It beats me means I don't know. Basically, I don't know. Here's an example. Do you know why they haven't called me back? They haven't called me back. Maybe I called somebody and they still haven't called me, and I ask someone if they know why. And they say, huh? Beats me. I don't know. Beats me. I can't guess, basically. Another example. You don't feel well? No, I don't feel very well today. Why not? beats me. That means I don't know why I don't feel well. I don't feel well, but I don't know why. It beats me. Okay? This is also a very, very common expression when you want to say that you don't know what happened. Okay, so the expressions I talked about today, or the idioms I talked about today. You've got to be kidding. Piece of cake. Sooner or later. Grab a bite. Now you're talking, or now you're talking. You kind of have to say it like that. Now you're talking. Make now stronger. Now you're talking. I blew it. I blew it, or you blew it. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. Out of the blue. Out of the blue. And beats me, or it beats me. Usually don't say it beats me, just beats me. Beats me. So, try to use these in different situations and practice them because they are really, really common. I don't know if they're common in other countries, but they're common in America where I come from. Okay? So I'm teaching you only American English right now. All right. So if you have any questions about this, or you're interested in taking classes with me, I also teach one-on-one classes. You can contact me on WeChat. Okay? So I will see you next time.